Feeling alone is one thing, but feeling alone even when you have so many people around you is arguably one of the saddest emotions one could feel. It can make you doubt whether you truly will feel accepted ever again in your life, making you question your very own existence, wondering if anyone will take you for who you truly are and not sugarcoating your personality or making it seem worse than it is. Someone who will love your very soul without you feeling the need to put on a mask or any form of facade. And one of the most depressing things that could happen to someone is them not ever being accepted, cared for, or loved until the day that they die. And knowing that there is a strong possibility of that happening to you is a scary thought. One that can make you desperately cry out, begging for some form of normality. The chance to not just live a normal life, but to live one with all of your soul taken into consideration, including both the good and the bad within you. For a long time, Sakura Yamauchi would have a lot of trouble finding that someone who wouldn't overcompensate nor pity her flaws or, in this case, her terminal pancreatic illness. In terms of a family, they try their best to ignore it, attempting to live the same normal life that they once shared as if nothing bad had ever happened. But even within that desperate attempt, there are cracks shown that reveal the family's underlying motive of trying to completely ignore their daughter's pancreatic disease. And for her friends at school, Sakura tries to hide her disease so that they wouldn't try to overcompensate and make the best of the small amount of time that she has remaining on the earth, because that would completely change the relationship she had with her friends that originally made her like them. And finding that in between is extremely difficult and something that many unfortunately end up not discovering for their whole lives. But tied by a combination of both fate and luck, Sakura is able to find that someone. You see, he didn't overreact upon the accidental uncovering of her illness that she had tried so hard to keep away for so long, but nor did he ignore it. Instead, he accepted it as a part of her soul and who she is. And so, over the course of this movie, she begins to develop a bond with him. Originally, the boy isn't as hooked onto the girl as Sakura is with him. He simply views her as an over-enthusiastic, slightly cute girl who has a strange fondness for him. But as they begin to spend more time together, experiencing their own ups and downs with each other, his view of her begins to change. At first, she comes across as a girl who seems a bit too careless about her disease, especially when she knows that she is going to die very soon. But he begins to discover that this is a mask that she is hiding under to avoid giving away any hints to her oblivious friends. And so he slowly begins to realize that she is just as scared and frightened as any other high school teenager would be. It's just that her reactions to it are much more hidden so that no one else would really be bothered as a result of her illness. But around this person, she's able to unleash her true self, her rawest form that she would not be able to show to either her friends nor her family. You can tell that she truly does enjoy being with this person, Haruki. She's able to express her true emotions and her true self when she is around him. And so by the end of the film, following her death when all of the events come to a close, he looks back on the memories he shared with Sakura as something very invaluable and precious, something that should be treasured. And suddenly, he realizes why she wanted to do so many things with him. He realizes the whole purpose of the last few weeks of her life and her overarching motive behind it. He remembers and holds with huge value every single second that he was able to spend with her. And as he recalls all of the happy times that they spent together, a bittersweet feeling grows in his heart. He knows that Sakura died happy and in peace, and yet he still feels somehow empty. He felt as though he had missed out on something huge. If only he had more time to spend with Sakura, he would have realized her goal and therefore would have embraced their relationship far more and treasured the moments that they spent together when they were happening. And he could have been able to express his true emotions for her, telling her how grateful he was. Because it was only after her death when he will finally realize how big of an impact she had left in him, the huge ways in which he changed because of Sakura. But in the end, he realizes that she probably knew all of this anyways, and he is able to move on with his life while still carrying his memories of her within him. During the time that she was still alive, he started to stop believing in her illness, as if it was all make-believe and that it wasn't true, because he had trouble accepting that the one person he had finally developed a big connection with would be gone so soon. it would be difficult to move on and find someone else because of how much she changed him as a person during the time that she was alive. Because originally he thought of himself as boring and cardboard-like with no interesting features at all. And on the other hand, Sakura was a happy and cheerful girl, a full canvas of beautiful cherry blossoms and lush green bushes. So with the time that the two had spent together, she slowly began to fill up the boy's empty canvas. She splashed it with color every time that they shared a precious moment and changed him as a person, developing and progressing himself so that by the end, he could feel the bittersweet emotions of losing someone that he loved. And perhaps this is what made their connection so special. Perhaps the sheer amount of contrast in terms of their personality is what made them feel so closely attached to one another. They both were able to complement each other, combining the good parts within both of them as to benefit each other in this relationship. So that by the end, the boy would carry a part of the girl and the girl would carry a part of the boy, so that even if one of them were to die, the memories would continue within the heart of the other. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is an absolutely stunning tale about the relationship between a boy and a girl with a shorter than usual time limit of life. This makes it quite heartbreaking by the end of this movie following the girl's death, and I promise that is not a spoiler because it is already revealed at the very beginning of the movie. It follows a very unique relationship from start to finish in amazing detail, making for great character progression in both the girl and the boy, which gives us huge attachment for the two characters over the course of this movie. I highly recommend this anime for anyone who likes shows, but I think all the people who enjoy feeling something or great character development should also watch this movie. Huge thanks to all of the amazing people who have been supporting and commenting on my videos. It truly does help me out. My goal is to hit 100 subscribers by the end of this year. It's very ambitious and probably won't happen, but if I can even hit it by February next year, I would be ecstatic. So if you want to support me on my journey, then please consider subscribing and drop a like in the meantime. They're both free and would encourage me so much to keep making more videos like this. Plus, you can unsubscribe anytime you want. But otherwise, I hope to see you all soon. Peace.